What if we use the 8GB RTX 4060 Ti to play the latest games on a 27-inch 1440p monitor? Because why not? Let's find out. I'm using the MSI Gaming X Trio RTX 4060 Ti paired with the Ryzen 5 7600X CPU as part of my Be Quiet PC build powered by MSI. If you're interested in any of the products featured in this video, you can find them at the links in the description below. By the way, we are really close to hitting 1000 subscriber goal on the second channel. If you're not subscribed yet, please help us make it happen. The link is in the description below, or you can simply search for iVadim Unbox on YouTube. Let's start with God of War Ragnarok. We are at native 1440p using the LAA, and let's try and get a playable experience using the Ultra Graphics Quality preset. Right away, we're getting above 50 FPS, which is absolutely fine in my opinion, but we are going to target 60 plus FPS consistently. Well, I can forgive some drops below 60, but let's try to get 60 plus. At the moment, we are clearly not achieving that because there are drops to around 53, 55 from time to time. Oh, 47 FPS over here. Wow. By the way, power consumption is pretty good. Check this out. GPU power is 155 watts, CPU power around 70 to 80 watts. Firstly, let's use DLSS resolution upscaling set to quality mode. So we're basically upscaling 950p to 1440p. To my eye, DLSS quality looks just as good as native resolution on a 27-inch 1440p monitor. And in this game, DLSS does not introduce any horrible artifacting or visual problems, so I see no reason not to use it. The performance is quite good now. We are getting well above 60 FPS. Even in this area right here, FPS doesn't drop below 60. Oh, 69, nice. Let's go for a little boat ride with Atreus. Further down the line, we are still getting well above 60 FPS, even 80 plus in some scenes like this one here. Oh, even above 100 sometimes. Let's see how the 4060 Ti handles combat scenes. Oh, 52 FPS just then. So there are dips from time to time below 60, but it rarely happens. Most of the time, we're staying either close to 60 or slightly above it. Come on, Atreus, kill this thing. This is a great, smooth experience. Very nice. I think we can also achieve a good experience at native resolution. So let's disable resolution upscaling and lower graphics preset just by one level down to high. We are getting 50 plus FPS, sometimes reaching 60. Yeah. This is not exactly better than we've had with DLSS set to quality. But personally, I prefer using DLSS resolution upscaling to boost that image fluidity. So even while using high graphics quality preset, let's select DLSS quality and see what happens. Here we go. Sometimes we're getting well above 90 FPS, sometimes 70-ish. Will there be any drops to 60 or below? Let's see. It doesn't appear so. Performance looks solid and smooth. Right, if you want a consistent 60 plus FPS experience without any drops below that, then this is the way to go. DLSS set to quality and graphics preset set to high. This way we get great performance as well as great image quality. Next up is Black Myth Wukong, which is a much more graphically demanding game than God of War. As a result, I think we should start using DLSS resolution upscaling right away. I've set it to 68%, which is equal to DLSS quality mode. And we are using very high graphics preset. And even so, we cannot get 60 plus FPS consistently. We're still hovering at around 50-ish. Sometimes dropping below that. I've seen 48 just then. It's pretty okay. The experience is okay. But this is a fast-paced game, so I really want to see 60 plus consistently. Because as we fight and dodge, yeah, it feels okay right now with 50-ish FPS. But it surely does feel a lot better if we are getting like 60, 70, or even more than that FPS. Just out of curiosity, let's see what the performance looks like at native 1440p resolution using very high graphics quality preset. And it's not great. Console-like experience, 30 plus FPS. I think we should find another set of settings that will allow us to enjoy this game more. Let's lower graphics quality preset to high and see what happens at native resolution first, and then we'll use DLSS resolution upscaling. By the way, I'm not using frame generation in any of these games because 8 GB of memory is just not enough to run it comfortably. Yeah, frame generation feature requires extra VRAM to function well. Otherwise, your memory will be overfilled and some assets may be downgraded regardless of the graphics quality you have selected. And I don't want that happening, so I'm not gonna use frame generation. In terms of smoothness, this experience is okay. We are getting dips below 50 though, so it's not ideal. Let's make adjustments and set DLSS to quality mode, that is 68%. Let's go. And this is looking quite promising. Check it out. 68, 69, nice FPS. Even 70 plus sometimes. Not bad. Let's engage in some combat. Oh. Let's go. Come on, attack me. Go ahead. Take a swing. There we go. This feels nice and responsive. Great experience. I'm liking it. If I were playing this game using the RTX 4060 Ti, I would pick these settings because this does feel very good and it gives you 60 plus FPS. And the image quality looks good on the 27-inch monitor. Let's see how much more FPS we can get if we select medium graphics quality preset and leave DLSS on quality mode. Now our experience is reaching 90 FPS sometimes, but obviously it will drop to around 80 to 70 plus in more demanding scenes. But this is great. If you have a high refresh rate monitor, it is worth checking out this experience because 90 FPS feels much better than 60. Image fluidity is nicer, and if you have a monitor with perfect image clarity, like I do here, this is OLED, so there's literally no ghosting, it feels amazing to have 90 FPS. Obviously 120 would have been even better, but not with the 4060 Ti, unfortunately. We'll need a more powerful GPU to achieve that. Moving on to Space Marine 2. The game throws out a warning message when you're trying to select Ultra Graphics Quality preset, but I think we can get away with using Ultra if we use DLSS set to quality because that lowers VRAM usage. Let's see if we can get away with it. It doesn't look too bad in the starting area. Actually, it looks more than okay, 100 plus FPS. But once we encounter some enemies and maybe even experience a different scene, then we will see FPS drops for sure. But what I want to see is Is it possible to use ultra graphics quality preset or no? Let's go. Oh, 80 plus FPS. I think I've seen 70 something just then, but yeah, this is pretty good. 76 FPS, 67, but that was like a spike. So it doesn't really count that much because mainly we are staying well above 70. It's fine. All assets on the screen look okay to me. Yeah, this is absolutely fine. If you want to use ultra graphics quality preset with DLSS enabled, I think we can do that because, yeah, it works, so you can ignore that warning message. Although I do see that VRAM usage is quite high, 7.5 gigabytes, and I think that that DRAM usage is a bit too high, so some assets may have spilled over into DRAM at the moment. But the overall experience is okay. There are some stutters here and there, but those are minor, and those are happening regardless of the image quality you're using. The performance looks normal to me for this particular game. Let's see what happens if we enable native resolution and keep ultra graphics preset on. We're getting way less FPS right now, 60-ish, which means that it will drop below 60 when we enter a combat, when there's gonna be a lot of enemies, because even right now, sometimes FPS drops to 58. That isn't promising. I don't think it is worth playing this game like so, when we can adjust those settings a little bit and have a better experience. Let's see if we can improve that by selecting high graphics quality preset and keeping that resolution upscaling at native 1440p. At the base, we're getting close to 60 FPS, sometimes 69, which is nice. But we also do get dips to around 50 plus from time to time, like this one here, 55, 57, 59. Let's jump into a mission. Oh, this is actually good stuff. We are in an area with a lot of vegetation. These tend to be the most graphically demanding levels in the game, and they truly are. Check it out. We are still getting around 60 FPS with drops below 60 to around 58, 59, 57, which means that once we engage enemies, FPS will drop below 50. So I think we should preemptively adjust the settings and use DLSS set to quality mode. The image quality looks very similar to native, so I don't see any reasons not to use DLSS in this game, especially since the FPS increased by that much. 90 FPS right now. Let's engage the enemy and see what happens. It was just one guy. We are looking for a horde or a swarm. Yeah, it's a swarm. Check it out. That's a lot of enemies right there. And we're still staying well above 60 FPS, 72, 71, 76 FPS. Very good. And this is a great experience. Slicing and dicing. Great. Oh, look at that. There's even more. And FPS still stays above 60. 61 FPS was the lowest number I've seen so far. Oh, they're biting me. No. No bite. No bite. What happened there? Whoa. Huge explosion. Oh my god. These things, they're terrible. Ah, they're getting me. Let's go. I will survive. Oh, there's a sniper there. Get some. I think this is the right set of settings to use if you're playing on the RTX 4060 Ti. This just feels great. Consistent performance, good FPS, nice. And just to remind you, we are using DLSS set to quality and high graphics preset. It turns out that we can enjoy the latest AAA games in the last quarter of 2024 with the 8GB RTX 4060 Ti. Thanks to DLSS resolution upscaling, we were able to enjoy the games at ultra or high graphics quality preset, which is pretty good in my opinion. The experience was enjoyable and the image quality was very good. If you're still skeptical about resolution upscaling, then that means that you haven't tried DLSS yet. Overall, I think that the 4060 Ti is a viable solution to play games at 1440p. What do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in any of the products featured in this video, including the full PC parts list for this build, you can find them on Amazon at the links in the description below. Don't forget to reward this video with a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more if you haven't already. It was I, Vadim. Until next time.